everyone, Becca here. Today we're going to go over a quick cool down that you can do after any type of workout. So, per usual with me, I like to start down with my feet and work my way up my body, make sure I don't miss anything. So we're going to start with our calves first. So, if you can find a ledge of some sort, either a wall or even a leg of a table or a leg of a chair, that would work too. We're going to stretch our calves. So to do this, what we're going to do is put our toes up onto the ledge or the table leg or the chair leg. And we're going to keep this leg relatively straight. We don't want to lock our knee. We want a slight bend in this leg. And we want to keep our chest nice and tall. What we're going to do is we're going to move our chest towards the wall. This back leg here as well, depending upon how close we get it to this wall, will depend on how much of a stretch we get in our calf. So the closer this leg is to the wall, the more stretch we'll get in this calf. As well as the closer our chest is to the wall, the more stretch we'll get in that calf. So find a good spot where you feel just a little bit of a stretch. Chest is nice and tall, and we'll hold it for about 30 seconds. If you feel like during this time you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your chest closer to the wall. And go ahead and do the other leg. So again, we're not locking this knee, there's a slight bend. Find a good place where you feel a little bit of a stretch. Chest is nice and tall. My abs are tight as well. And we'll hold it for about 30 seconds. Try and get the pad of your foot right below your toes evenly pressed against that surface. So I don't want my foot to turn outward or inward. It's evenly pressed. And again, if you need more stretch, bring your chest, your tall chest, closer to that wall. A few more seconds here. All right. Next, moving on up our body, we're going to hit our quads. And this is a static stretch, and I recommend only doing this stretch after you've had some type of movement. I don't prefer to do this stretch when I'm cold. So this is a cool down, so inherently we'll do this after we've moved around for a little bit with our legs. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to do our typical quad stretch like this, but let me walk you through it. So we want to keep our posture nice and tall. So our glute on our planted foot is going to be tight. There's a slight bend in this knee. We want to make sure our knee is lined up with our toes, so we don't want to be here. We want to be here. Glutes tight, my abs are tight, my chest is tall, shoulders are back and down. Then I'm going to grab this opposite leg, and my goal here is to have both of my knees in the same plane. So what I mean is I don't want my knee out here and I don't want my knee back here. I want them to be in the same plane here. The other cue for this is to keep your hips square. So we don't want to open up our hips this way or close them this way. What will help with that is keeping our shoulders square and chest up high. So I'll hold each leg for about 30 seconds. A couple of tricks here if you feel like you're wobbling. Squeeze the glute with on your planted leg, or you can touch your belly button with your opposite hand. Some people like to touch their nose. Weight is evenly distributed on my planted foot. Hold it for a few more seconds here. You should feel a nice stretch in your quad. And relax. So same thing, posture. I'm going to make sure my knee is lined up with my toe. Tighten my glute, tighten my abs, my chest is tall. I'm going to grab this foot, line my knees up into the same plane. And if you want to, you can look down to make sure I lose my balance when I look down. So I'm just going to kind of make sure my knees are there. Make sure your hips are in the same plane, your shoulders are in the same plane. And again, you can touch your belly button or your nose. Squeeze this planted glute. Squeeze your abs. That'll help you with your balance. Try not to lock this planted leg. Keep a little bit of a bend. Hold it for about 15 more seconds. Okay, we'll relax. All right. So next we'll stretch our hamstrings. So I'm going to do this stretch without any sort of equipment around. But if you have a chair or a ledge that you can lift your leg up on, you can also do a hamstring stretch that way. But for right now, I'm going to show you this one. So feet are about shoulder width apart. And I'm just going to bend at my hips. Now we want to make sure that we keep a slight bend in our knees. We don't want our knees locked. So we're here. And I'm also going to make sure that my abs are tight and my back is straight. So I'll do it once this way, and then I'll turn and show you the other way. So I'm here, I'm keeping a tall chest, my abs are tight, slight bend to my knees, and I'm gonna push my hips back, bend at my hips, and get a nice stretch in my hamstrings here. Notice that my chest is still tall. My shoulders aren't slumped over this way. My shoulder blades are back and down. My traps are relaxed. So from the side, hold that stretch. From the side, it looks like this. Feet shoulder width apart, slight bend. Posture, abs are tight. Push my hips back. My back is straight. Get a nice stretch in my hamstrings back here. Shoulder blades are back and down. If they weren't, it would look like this. I don't want that. I want to be here. Abs are tight, traps are relaxed. Hold it for about 10 more seconds. If you need more of a stretch, push your chest towards the floor and your hips back more. You can let your arms hang if you'd like, but just be careful, don't let your shoulders sag. We're here. Feet is evenly distributed on your feet. And back up. Okay, let's do our hip flexors next. Especially if we're working in the office and sitting a lot, our hip flexors tend to get tight when we're constantly like this. So this is a really, really good stretch. So again, I'll do the setup facing you, and then I'll turn sideways to show you how to do it that way. So we're gonna go down on one knee here. I've used 2 mats. Feel free if you want more of a cushion there. And our front leg, we want to be at a 90-degree angle here. We're going to take our front toe and turn it in just a little. We're going to take our back foot and we're going to step it out a few inches. Now here's the key. Our posture needs to be proper. So our chest is up tall, our abs are tight, and our glute on our back leg needs to be tight. So squeeze that glute, those glutes. What that's going to do is it's going to shift your hip here, and it's going to stretch your hip flexor. So I have a stretch right now, and I haven't even done anything other than squeeze my glutes. So I'm here. Now, if you want more of a stretch, what I like to do is put my hands on my hips to make sure that they stay square. And you're going to shift your body weight forward. So my chest is going to stay right above my hips. I'm just going to shift my body weight forward. So onto this foot in front of me. My glutes are still tight back here though. If you relax your glutes, you won't get that stretch in your hip flexor. So we're here, glutes tight, lean forward. Okay? I'll show you from the opposite side. And from the side view. I'm going to plant my foot, plant my front foot, turn my front foot toes in a little bit, take this back foot out a few inches. Make sure your heel is over your toes. We don't want this or we don't want this. So we're here. Make sure my posture is set. Squeeze my glutes and my back leg. I already feel a pull right here. But if I wanted more, I'm going to shift my entire upper body forward like this. Gives you more of a stretch here, making sure that your glutes stay flexed. So here's what we don't want. We don't want this. We don't want this to be relaxed and go forward. There's not going to be a stretch. So we're here, stretch, push forward. And hold that for a few more seconds. And go ahead and switch legs if you haven't already. I'm going to go back to my initial leg because I didn't hold it very long. Okay. So we saw the checkpoints. Toes turned in here, foot goes out back there, glutes tight, posture's upright, squeeze my glutes, push forward. More seconds. And relax. Good, okay. Next we're going to stretch our glutes. I shouldn't have stood up, so stay down if you're still down. And I'm going to show you two variations to do this. Some people call it the 4 stretch. Some people, I think, call it the cobra. So the first one here is sit down, feet are in front. Notice that my posture is upright. This is another one of those stretches that we need to make sure that we're firm in our upper body. We're going to take our right foot, right ankle, put it on our left quad, our left thigh. We're going to take our hand, our right hand, go through our legs, grab that left leg underneath, take our left hand, grab in the same spot there. And you might even feel a stretch just right now. You're going to feel a stretch in your right butt muscles, your right glutes. So we're there. Now if you need more of a stretch, you can bring that foot, your left foot closer to your body. Notice my upper body though. I'm not slouched over this way. I'm forcing that chest upright, tall chest, and my abs are tight. Now if you need even more of a stretch, you can lean backwards, lay down. So you're here. And pull this left leg towards you. And get a nice, good stretch. Some people like to straighten this leg. That's okay. I just leave it bent. I'm going to hold it for about 20 seconds here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and just change my legs laying down. So I'm going to take my left ankle, I'm going to put it on my right thigh. I'm going to take my left hand, put it in between my legs, grab the back of my right leg, meet my right hand on the other side, relax my head, and I'm going to pull my right leg towards me. I'll show you, since I'm facing the camera, I feel a stretch all right here in my glutes, even a little bit out here. The ideal time to hold a stretch is about 30 seconds. I'll take about 15 more here. Okay. I'll show you the other way to stretch those muscles. It's one of my favorite stretches. So the way I set up is I like to go down into a plank, and then I'm going to drive my right leg up, my right knee up towards my chest, cross it over and lay on my leg. So let me show you. So I'm in a plank. I'm going to drive my right knee up, I'm going to lay down on the front of my right leg, and let my left leg slide backwards and just rest my body weight onto this front leg. If I can go down to my elbows, great. If I can relax even further, great. And notice that my back foot is relaxed. I'm not up on my foot this way. It's relaxed. I'm gonna relax my traps, and really lean into my glute muscles on this leg that's up here. In this case, it's my right leg. And while you're here, you can rock a little bit to the right and find if there's any tight places. You can also go to the left. You'll stretch different parts of your glutes. About 10 more seconds here. Couple of cues for this one. We want to make sure that our hips are not open, so we're not sitting on our back glute muscle there. We're not open this way. Our hips are square to the ground. Our shoulders are square to the ground. So go ahead and switch. I bring myself up here. I get my foot back onto my toes back there, lift up into a plank, drive my left leg forward, lay down on the front of my leg there, slide my right foot back, lean into that front glute muscle, relax that back foot, make sure my hips are square, my shoulders are square, relax my traps, come down to my elbows, and let my body weight stretch out that glute muscle, those glute muscles in my left leg. And again, if you want to shift some to the left, you can. Shift some to the right. A few more seconds. And relax. You can come out of it the same way, or you can roll back to a seated position and stand up. Okay, we have 2 more stretches here. The next one is our chest. So the way that I like to do this is find either a wall or a pole or something that is just slightly over my shoulder, slightly higher than my shoulder that I can put my hand against. So coming over here to the wall, I'm gonna line up perpendicular to whatever surface it is that I'm gonna hold on to or put my hand on. I'm here and I'm only, an inch or 2 above my shoulder height, but I wanna make sure my trap is not up, contracted. I wanna make sure it's relaxed. So I'm gonna push that shoulder blade back and down. And I'm going to turn my palm, my hand, so that the inside of my wrist is facing forward. And then I'm going to slowly turn my feet and my body in the opposite direction. So I feel a complete pull all through my pectoral muscles. Again, my chest is nice and tall. I'm not hunched over. My abs are tight. My glutes are tight. And I'm really pushing that stretch in here. More seconds. Just caught my trap contracted. I don't know if you saw that. Relax. Constantly checking those points to make sure. All right, let's go ahead and switch. So I'm going to line up perpendicular here. Place my hand an inch or 2 above my shoulder. The inside of my wrist is facing forward. My traps are relaxed. Luckily I have a mirror here, I can check my posture. I'm just gonna walk my feet around, twist my body around, feel that stretch through my chest. Feel a little bit in my upper bicep too, which is good. Make sure your traps are relaxed, glutes tight, abs are tight, chest is tall. About 10 more seconds. Okay, our last one is going to be our neck. Similar to our warm-up. Posture is upright. I'm going through the checkpoints in my mind. Right ear to my right shoulder. I'll hold that for about 5 seconds. Then I'm going to drop my chin to my chest. Go to the left side. 5 seconds. Notice I'm not leaning. My shoulders are square. Abs are tight. Traps are relaxed. Chin to chest. Right side. Chin to chest. Left side. Right side. Chin to chest, left side. We'll do each side one more time. Chin to chest, to the right. Chin to chest, to the left. There we go.